The Grand Canyon, Grandview Trailhead to the iconic South Kaibab Trailhead via the remote, rugged Tonto Trail. We'll descend into the depths of the canyon, traversing breathtaking ridges and expansive desert vistas along the Tonto Plateau. This route offers solitude, challenging terrain, and unforgettable encounters with the raw beauty of the canyon. Back in November 2021, I completed the rim to rim to rim here with the Midwest crew, feeling strong and confident as we took on the canyon's challenges together. Now, as I return to this incredible landscape, I find myself a bit apprehensive but equally excited. This journey isn't just about the miles or elevation. It's a chance to reflect on my past experiences, reconnect with the canyon's timeless beauty, and see what new lessons this adventure has in store. What is going on, friends? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Rob Pelton, and on this channel I do a lot of really cool stuff outside. We are in the Grand Canyon. Since our work has taken us into Arizona, we had some downtime. Figure, why not? So we are on a less traveled trail called the Tonto Trail. We started at Grandview Trailhead, which sits at 7,400 feet. And also when we started, it was 38 degrees. And since we're still in the shade, it's still very much 38 degrees. It's also worth mentioning that we're descending about 3,500 feet this morning to the Tonto Trail because we're on Grandview Trail right now. This trip in total is about 27 miles because we're hiking here to South Kaibab. Well, we'll head up the South Rim and back to the car, basically. It is November 20th, 2024, and we're going to be on this trail for 4 days, 3 nights, and all of it is going to be magical. This trail is available on All Trails, which is our primary source of navigation. And we also chose this trail because it is less frequented. You know, once we get towards the bottom, we may not see anybody, which is a far cry from Bright Angel or Kaibab, which is crazy, right? But the Grand Canyon is open year-round, and there's shuttles that run year-round. However, their shuttles don't come to Grandview Trailhead. So we stopped at the backcountry office, got a little logistics, got some update on water, because where we are, water isn't the most prevalent thing. We also learned that they have a taxi service that will bring us to Grandview Trailhead. And then when we're done at South Kaibab, there is a shuttle there to the visitor center where we parked. As far as the shuttle goes, I'll leave the phone number to that shuttle service down in the description. So when you call, ask for that taxi service and they'll put you in touch. And it costs Janelle and I $32 even to get a ride here. And they only take cash and exact change only. A little information on Grandview Trail. It's very steep. It's actually one of the steepest trails here, and it's not maintained regularly, which means this can ice up or get a lot of snow and it may not be cleared. So be sure to check the weather conditions and use crampons, micro spikes if you need them. We checked, we don't need them here. It's perfect weather for us. But with the steepness and the terrain, trekking poles are a must. A quick fact about trekking poles: if using them going downhill, it can relieve up to 70% of downward force on your knees and joints. So if you use them correctly, trekking poles are amazing downhill. Now if I can just figure out how to film and use these at the same time. A little tip about trekking poles and steep downhills. I usually have it at 115. That's the measurement that I use every day. But for downhills, especially miles of downhill and a steep decline, I'll increase the length of my trekking poles from 115 to 120, because as you're heading downhill, everything in front of you is lower, which means you need that extra reach. So instead of bending over and reaching in front of you, that extra 5 millimeters will actually help with that. So longer trekking poles going downhill, and you can shorten them up even to 110 going uphill. Now you know. Now today, day one being downhill day, we have 4.5 miles to our first camp, which is at Cottonwood camp. Now I think there's a different Cottonwood camp, because last time I was here, when I did the rim to rim to rim, link in the description, we stayed at Cottonwood camp, but that was right along Bright Angel, and this one is not. So I imagine same name, different site. I'll check and let you know right now. Yep, 2 completely different campsites, both named Cottonwood. Okay, so now we both know. We're almost 2 miles in, and the trail gets pretty sketchy from here. If you're not careful, you can actually lose it, but it is certainly not groomed in any way. Looks like some of it's washed out. Yeah, so be careful. Temperature in relation to elevation in the Grand Canyon. The 2 coldest areas are going to be up on the rims, meaning up on top. The south rim is cold, the north rim is colder because the north rim is higher. But as you descend down into Grand Canyon, about every 1,000 feet you descend, it gets about 5-ish degrees warmer. So the further down you go, the warmer it gets. The further up you go, the colder it gets. So tonight's low up on the south rim is like 13 or something Fahrenheit. And then down where we are at the elevation it'll be about 23-ish. Yeah. Sorry, 27-ish Fahrenheit. As you come to this little cross section, obviously we have to go this way, but there is a pit toilet on this section. The only other established bathroom that we'll see is going to be on Kaibab on our way up. So, you want to check out a Grand Canyon toilet? And as we come up this way, there's this old structure, looks like an old house. Obviously the roof gone. Let's check it out. Yeah, just a little structure here, nothing crazy. But cool, there's a fire pit. When you go find the toilets, it goes through a group site. You have one toilet there, and then has a good buddy system. Another toilet there. There's actually a window. This last little section is pretty steep and everything is loose gravel, so you have to watch your feet constantly, but you have like this view that you keep wanting to look at. Look at that, but you can't because you might fall and die. It's starting to level out a little bit. Now I'm in the shade where it cools off so fast. But we're very close to camp, and I'm eager to just kind of sit down and eat all my snacks. This area is a big wash, and you kind of lose the trail a little bit. I see a small cairn over there, but if you didn't know, you could go in all kinds of directions. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm gonna build a cairn to let people know that we gotta go this way. And that's the best I got. Get camp set up. It's a little cozy, but it'll work. And today was a lot more challenging than you would think, especially on paper. 4.5 miles. I mean, that's nothing, right? But when you consider the elevation lost was what did we go down? 30. We went down 3,600 feet today, and just the descent angle is brutal. I had my toes cramming into the tips of my shoes, hard on the knees, hard on the quads. It's tough. So it was a tough 4.5 miles, but it only took us 3 hours. We weren't really rushing. You know, we ate a little bit of lunch, but it was good. It was good. I felt fine. You feel fine?
No.
There's a small creek over there, just a trickle, enough for us to fill water. I'll show you that in a second. This is going to be probably our biggest water supply here, so we're going to try to get as much as we can, because from here on out, it's sketchy at best. So next up on the agenda for today is to hurry up and relax. Sun went down pretty fast. In this part of the country, especially Arizona, in the wintertime when the sun goes away, it gets cold, and it gets cold fast. Since today was a relatively short day, plus we had lunch, we had leftover sandwiches. Don't need a really big meal tonight, so I'm gonna cook something smaller. I saw this at REI. Wild Zora Fiesta beef. The reviews in REI was good, but it's basically bell peppers, tomato, sweet potato, beef, and it looks like quinoa, so it's a quinoa based meal. So it's pretty foo-foo, but I bet it's pretty good. Oh, smells decent. They give you an olive oil packet. That's legit. All right. 6 ounces of water, let's go. Now, we wait. While we're waiting for dinner to rehydrate, I'm gonna fill up on some water. There is a water source. It's a really small creek, and right now it's just a trickle, but evidently it stays like this for the most part of the year. This is the most reliable water source on this trail. And then from here on out, the water choices get pretty sketch. So we'll have to be pretty mindful. So check out this little creek. And that's pretty much it. But it does, come from quite a ways. So there's all these little potholes here, which is kind of nice. And we checked on these water sources not only online, but with the backcountry permit office as well. And they kind of direct us to this. So We don't need any water tonight. We're just going to fill these up so we can filter tomorrow as needed. But it's cold and it's clear. And to top it off, I just cut the bottom off of a Smart water bottle because I knew the water sources were going to have these little potholes. Now we got water for tomorrow. All right, we have wild Zora quinoa zesty or fiesta beef with olive oil.
Sounds amazing.
It sounds good. It's a little watery. All right, first bites.
Oh, sweet.
It's hot.
Oh.
Oh, that's a big spoonful. Wow. It's gonna burn your mouth off.
That's good. Be really good to dip it with Doritos.
It is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Doritos.
Oh.
Yeah, all right. A little less water. I think I put a little bit too much water, but not bad. And this is considered one serving, but we're gonna split it because we have lots of snacks.
Thank you.
Needless to say, we packed a lot of food. Too much food? Probably. In the Grand Canyon, the things you do not have to worry about are bears. The things you do have to worry about are the little critters. Mice, rats, marmots, all the little things. So that means you don't need a bear canister. That'd be way too big and too bulky and too heavy. An ursack you can't use out here because mice can actually chew through an ursack, believe it or not. Bear hangs, like a normal bear hang, probably isn't the best idea because there's so few trees in the Grand Canyon. So how do you keep your food from all the critters overnight? Enter the rat sack. These come in a bunch of different sizes, and it's basically like a fine chainmail with a very heavy-duty Velcro closure. And you put this in here. So you may be asking, well, why bring a food bag if you're going to put it all in a rat sack? Well, it's very simple. When rodents and little critters crawl around this trying to get in it, they poop and pee. I would rather not have them poop and pee on my food. I'd rather have them poop and pee on a bag. So where does this go? Make sure you're away from camp, mainly because you don't want to hear these things running around at night. May as well just remove this from your campsite. You can just put it on a rock. That's fine. I personally like to hang it from somewhere. Now, if you do find a tree, hang it from a tree, that's fine. But get just a carabiner. Hang it on a branch. That's what I like to do. And just like a bear bag, put all your smellables in there. Your garbage, your chapstick, your toothpaste, any of your smellables, put inside there, because if you keep them with you, rats will chew through your tent. They'll chew through your backpack to get at these things. So treat it like a bear bag.